Welcome to today's episode all about skin health matters. I'm your host, Caroline, and in this episode, we have the pleasure of interviewing Gillian, founder of tancream.co.uk, whose journey started with a simple discovery, a mole on her leg that led to a life-changing diagnosis of skin cancer. Gillian's journey didn't end with her diagnosis. It sparked a mission to redefine sun protection. Realising the critical importance of sunscreen, she envisaged a project that combined SPF 50 protection with the beauty of fake tan. Recognising the absence of such solution on the market, Gillian assembled a dedicated team to bring her vision to life. In our conversation, Gillian shares behind the scenes of running Tan Cream, from the creative process of formulating their unique product to the daily operations that keep the company thriving. But our discussion isn't limited to the present. We explore the future of Tan Cream, delving into Gillian's vision for the company and its role in promoting skin health worldwide. For those eager to experience the benefit of Tan Cream, you can buy the formula to use at home. Tune in as we uncover the inspiring story behind Tan Cream and learn why skin health truly matters. Welcome, Gillian. Thank you so much for coming on. Can you take us back to the moment when you first found that mole that led to your skin cancer diagnosis?
Well, I've always been in the hair and beauty industry, and so I'm a massive lover of sunbeds and sitting in the sun. And then, and years ago, there was never the education behind, all the sun and the damage it would do to your skin. And as the years was going on, and obviously the business that I was in, I had quite a few people that used to come in and was saying about, they'd had moles removed, etc., and what to look for. And anyway, I started thinking, well, actually, I've got a lot of moles, so I should really kind of look at my skin. And anyway, so as the months went by, this one appeared on my leg, and I didn't really think much of it at the time. I just thought, well, this, it's just appeared. Let me just keep an eye on it. But then, literally within about 10 days, it became really, really dark, irregular, and it was itchy. Yeah, I know, and it was definitely one of those like, oh my gosh, is that really happening to me?
Yeah, because often you look at this, what you're supposed to look for, and I'll say to my husband, "Oh my gosh, look at that mole," and he's like, "It's not changed in like however long it is," and I always think so. He does monitor. He does that for his living, but he does monitor and know where his moles are. But I wouldn't notice. But it was such a big difference. Then you must have noticed.
Yeah, definitely. And actually, one of the things that I've, I guess as the time has gone on since my diagnosis, and one of the things that, all the research that I've done is that you have to look for an alien on your skin.
Wow.
And that's exactly what mine was. It was, I have a lot of moles, and this one was just different. It was really dark and like I say, very irregular. And it changed, and it just appeared literally in 10 days. And
Wow.
I went to see my GP, and luckily she fast-tracked me to a dermatologist, and she basically saved my life. I mean, if I hadn't have had that fast-track system, which is brilliant, but with the NHS, by the way,
Yeah.
well, I wouldn't be having this podcast interview with you today, that's for sure.
Yeah. So you obviously were really shocked at it. Did you understand what it was at the time, or?
Yeah, I think you kind of go with your gut feeling, don't you? And that instinct was, yeah, this is not right. And
Oh,
especially with my history of the sun and sunbeds, I
yes.
just knew that, yeah, it wasn't right.
Did you know that anyone else that had skin cancer around the same time as you, or was this really quite new?
No, I used to have a client actually who she had skin cancer, and I used to kind of like support her a little bit really. So I kind of knew a little bit more in depth, and I knew sort of different surgeons and things that were around at the time. And I think, yeah, I think she kind of definitely made me more aware, and because you never ever think it's going to happen to you, do you?
No. So how old were you when it happened? How many years ago do you think?
I was about 43.
Right. Gosh, that's
Yeah,
scary.
very, yeah.
Yeah, very scary. And I think people don't realise how bad skin cancer can be or the impact of it. And I think everybody just thinks of breast cancer or other cancers, but you don't ever think of skin cancer. I don't. So I think that there's definitely needs to be more awareness of it.
There does, and I think it is education. I think education within the teenagers and the young children. I mean,
Yes.
when you look in Australia, they are literally is inbred in them from a very young age to put sun cream on before they walk outside. Even through the winter, because the sun damages our skin through winter. The UV
Yeah.
is strong then. So yeah, it is definitely an education thing.
Massively so. I remember as a child just walking around in little bikini bottoms with hardly anything on, putting lemon in my hair, watching my sister with my older sister I had at the time with baby oil all on her. It was the thing to do to get as brown as you possibly could. And yeah, now I look back and I think, my gosh. And I remember when my daughter was born, I bought her this beautiful bikini, and my husband, I brought it back and I was like, look, we've got this for going away, wherever we were going. And he was like, are you joking? And I said, no. I said, she's going to wear this on the beach. And he went absolutely mental at me. And I was like, I didn't really understand until I've lived with it for so long with him, and that's his job, how bad that was to even think that I would put a child in a bikini like that. So
Yeah,
yeah, go on.
I was just going to say, and how now, even with the swimwear for children,
Yes.
you can actually buy swimwear that is UV
Yeah.
protected,
Yeah. I
and
mean, we never had any of that, did we?
no, nothing
No.
at all, nothing.
No.
And
No.
I think it's really important, that to get that message across early enough
Yeah. I mean, I
to
can't believe there's still sunbed shops now.
it's like,
Yeah. And I watched a TV program the other day, and people have them in their houses still. I was like, is this a thing?
yeah,
Yeah, it's crazy. So
no,
definitely there needs to be a lot more education.
yeah, without a doubt. And I always think, so there's where I live, there's a sunbed shop that's opened. In fact, there's two that
Wow.
opened within 6 months of each other. And one of them actually approached me to see if they could sell my product. And I
Wow.
was like,
Do you understand what my product is?
my message across this. And anyway, when I explained and I said, look, I am so anti sunbeds because,
Yeah.
that's why I have my product. And,
Yes.
I've had 16 moles removed and a lot BCCs and, in situ
Wow.
melanomas, so you've got to be so
So
careful.
careful. Yeah. And so how did you feel though when you got that first diagnosis? Were you in complete shock or?
Yeah, I think my um initial reaction, when I first found out, I knew when I'd had the first operation, they took it away, and then they called me back pretty quickly. And when I walked into the room, and there was a Macmillan nurse in there,
Oh my
I
gosh.
kind of thought my heart sank.
Yeah.
And yeah, and to be honest, when you hear that news, you never ever think you're going to be told that you've got cancer.
No.
And
Or
then
it's
I
going to happen to you, or you just don't think it.
completely. No,
Yeah.
definitely not. So that was, yeah, it was a real shock. And I had my son, he was 23 now. Obviously, he was younger, and he was, like a teenager. So he knew,
No.
he would know the whole thing, but what impact it had on him. And I definitely wasn't going to hide anything from him because it's education.
Yes.
And
Yes.
he was at an age where, they
You
would
could
be,
talk about,
yeah,
yeah. And he
but
would
also
know what was going on.
completely, but also as well is, they just go out in the sun and they just put sun cream on, and he was in that age bracket, and I
Yeah.
just thought actually, yeah, I'm going to be open, honest, but yeah, it was a really, kind of, yeah, slap her on the face, wake up call.
Yeah. So your experience with this, how did it then affect you with thinking about sun cream? You then put it on everybody you knew, told everyone about it.
Yeah,
Did
and
you try to become more conscious of sun cream and the fact that you should be wearing it all the time?
very much so, and I think also as well is, you put your skincare on a morning and things like that, but there was no SPF,
Yeah.
and really SPF, it should be part of your skincare routine for everybody. Even people that don't use serums and moisturize and things, but sun cream should be an absolute.
Yes.
Yeah, but yeah, it really changed my mindset on everything, and making sure that wherever I went, I had protection and I kept out of the sun. because you then become like, kind of quite paranoid, thinking, well, gosh, any little bit of sun that I go in, is it going to have an impact on me? But yeah, once you kind of, you just change your mindset, you just change your sort of direction of life a bit, really.
So can you tell us about your product that you launched? How did the idea come about? What made you think this is it?
Well, I think it was, again, stemming from me having to change my mindset into using
Yes.
every day. And there was nothing that I could find that, because I did like to have, some colour in my skin,
Yeah.
I feel better, when we've got a little bit of warmth in our skin. And, so I was applying SPF 50s, which a lot of them I really did not like. They were all
No.
quite thick and white and
Thick.
gooey.
Yes. Horrible. Yeah.
Made you look pale. So then
Yes.
with me putting that on and then having to then putting a fake tan on, then the
Yeah.
fake tan was kind of like orangey and
Yeah.
smelly, awful. So it was trying to think of, I knew exactly what I wanted, and so I was looking all over to find a product that had the both of them in, so that
Yeah.
had a sun protection and also a gradual self tan. I didn't want to be too dark. It's just
No.
more warm
Yes.
skin.
Yeah.
And but there was nothing anywhere. Even my friend who lived in Australia, or lives in Australia, I asked her to have a look. There was nothing at all.
I can't
So
believe it.
I
Wow.
know, I know. And you think in Australia, where skin
Yeah.
cancer is rife, that they would do something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Um,
definitely. I can't believe there was nothing. So there was a massive gap in the market. So you were like, let's do it.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it was definitely. But then you kind of go through the, how do I go about this?
Yes.
What do I do? How do I
Yeah.
start this? So anyway, Katie, who's my business partner, she's a friend of mine, and so she is into bringing products to market, skincare products, within the medical world to
Wow.
the
So
market.
it's a good friend to have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. That's what she did, sort of years ago. So I thought, well, actually, she's quite a good person to talk
Yes.
about it. So I mentioned it to her, and I actually kept, at that point, you're kind of thinking, oh, is it a really stupid idea? Have I
No.
really lost the plot? And then she said, oh my gosh, yeah, you're right. So let's
Yeah.
and so, obviously I didn't know what to do, how to get it to market, whatever. So we literally, she'd never done a product from scratch, like from the basics. She'd only ever
Yes.
sold a product for somebody else to the marketplace. So we did loads of research, and found, we went to an exhibition, where we knew that we'd be put in front of like medical professionals.
Yes.
And that's where we met Dr. Jack Ferguson, and everybody
Wow.
was saying, you need to speak to Dr. Jack. You need to speak to Dr. Jack. And so we met him there, but obviously I didn't tell him what the idea was, because I
No.
wanted him to
Yeah.
pinch the idea. And then we went from there. We met him in his offices in Nottingham, and we thought, right, well, let's go meet him. If we're in there more than an hour, we're all right.
Yes.
If not, then we'll
Yeah.
shelve the idea and walk away. We were in there for about 7 hours. We
Wow.
literally
Wow.
talked. We ended up having lunch together,
Amazing.
and he just thought it was a genius idea, and
Great.
again, couldn't believe why it had never been done before.
Mm.
So that's how we got to know Dr. Jack and Joanna Warren, who is the formulator and the cosmetic chemist. So, we worked with them.
And today, so you all came together as a team almost to produce this cream.
We did, yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
So how did you get all the chemicals and the product, the stuff that went in it correct? That must have taken so much research.
We did, yeah. I mean, it was 3.5 years,
Wow.
3.5 years of research and development. So we were working together, all of us. We were sort of talking about, how we could do it, because what became apparent, and the reason why it had never been done before, is that with having an SPF and a gradual tan, the pH balance wouldn't
Yeah.
be sustainable. So we had to come up with a way of doing it. So we would literally, I mean, we kept trying things and it wouldn't work, and it would break down, and then it was like, oh, that's awful. So we literally found a loophole, and we obviously got it patented, so that we've got the patent. So it's
That's
quite
amazing.
secure, very secure, so that nobody can do what we've done.
Great. Amazing.
And so we literally, Katie and I had a tick box of what we wanted the product to feel like, smell
Yeah.
like, when, the whole thing, really, the whole
Yes.
of it.
And I've used it. I think it's great. I've got
Thank
it
you.
already out because now obviously I've got my legs out finally. The weather is improving and I think it's a great product. It doesn't smell awful. Some smell like fake tan smells so bad and it doesn't do any of that for me. I really like it. I think it's a great product.
Good, thank you. Well,
Yeah.
it's one of the product, what I wanted with the product, because it's obviously, it's here. So it's
Yes.
like literally all, you use it for every day. You can use it as a daily moisturizer on your face. I mean, I
Yeah.
literally use it so I do my serums and, my moisturizers, and then I put that on top, and that's my SPF. And because
Amazing.
it's got like a tint to it as well,
Yeah, it's really nice.
when you look, you can kind of see, because it's got a little bit of a tint to it, and it's so easy
Yeah.
to massage in, is that you can use it as a moisturizer on your face and,
Yeah.
like all the exposed areas. But it's also really, really nice to, say like put it on, and like you were just saying, when you get your legs out, you just put it on, but you know that it evens out the skin tone, it gives a little bit of warmth, and it gradually is building up, over time. But you're doing
Yes.
it in the sun, which is the most
Amazing.
important.
Yeah, it is amazing. I've told so many friends about it and they're like, wow, I didn't even know this sort of thing existed. It's such a great product. I'm a massive fan. And so where do you sell the product? Like where can people buy it?
Well, we sell online
Yeah.
through our own website, and then we sell through aesthetic clinics, because
Okay.
we find that the aesthetic clinics, which is similar to where your husband works, because obviously they sell there,
Yeah.
uh, is that the clinicians understand our product, and they sell skincare products, more, because there's a lot of products out there on the market in the shelves in like Boots and things like that that are made by manufacturers. I won't make names,
Yes.
but they are cosmetic products.
Yeah.
They're not. There's no science.
No. Yeah.
A lot of the
Yeah.
like the dermatology products are so much more science based, and
Yes.
you get the Environs and the Neostratas and the Dr. Barges of the world
Yes.
that are so much more science driven. So the
Yes.
clinicians in the clinics know what products to recommend you. They're giving you them on prescription, really, because of
Yeah.
your skin. So them selling our product is perfect, because everything that they sell, our product will sit on top of it and be their sun protection. And
That's amazing. Yeah. So
yeah,
is it sold all throughout the UK, up and down in different clinics?
yeah, it is.
Great.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's brilliant. And in terms of the branding, then, I know you were going to redevelop that. Is that something that you've got on the cards?
It is,
Yeah.
yeah. We've had some different designs done, and we were thinking of, obviously the name, because tan cream does actually sound quite generic. It sounds a little bit more like a tanning product rather than what
Yeah.
it actually is, because there's a lot
Yes.
more science behind it. So we've got a new name, and then we're going to
Amazing.
do some nice new packaging as well. So
Great. That sounds really good. And what kind of price is it? I did look it up earlier. I've forgotten
it's
now.
44.95
Okay.
for
And that,
100.
I mean, my tube lasts me quite a long time. A little goes a long way.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
I
Yeah, and
think
that's
it's,
the good thing about it, to be fair, is that it will last you. So if you went on holiday, so that's a 100 ml bottle. So if you took that on holiday with you and you using it all over your body, it would last you. Say if you did one application in the morning, I mean, obviously you do need to top up. So whether you top up
yes.
with ours or whether you use another brand, but the good thing is about this is that you've got it there, and that's giving you. You're still tanning from the sun, because there's no such thing as a sun block. So you
Yeah.
are still getting the vitamin D in this, which we all need. And you are still tanning, but you're tanning safely and you're protecting your skin.
Yeah.
You're also getting a gradual self tan as well. So you get a more of a glowing tan. Um,
Yes.
and then if you top it with other SPFs or with ours, then it's, you're protecting the skin. So usually it would last, I would say, probably about a week, really.
Oh, I always forget, but I love your lip balm that you do. That's
Yeah.
so nice when you're away. I was just like doing this. My eldest was nicking it as well. It's such a lovely product. I love
Yeah.
that.
A lot of the children think it looks like the snitch out of Harry Potter.
Yes, it does. Yeah, it's really nice. Yeah, I hope you keep it like that in that ball shape. It's a really good product to have. I have it in my handbag and I just put it on all the time when we're away. So we've talked about the branding and the pricing. So there isn't really anything else out there, is there, to compare it to like there's nothing. So it's such a on its own product.
It
I think it's
is, yeah.
great.
We know that there's been other like brands that have tried to do
Yes.
what we've done, because we know that, because we spoke to some really early on, and they've not been able to achieve it. So I hope that continues,
Yeah, that's
and
amazing for you.
our patent is strong enough to, to keep it,
Yes.
different from everybody else.
So what does your day-to-day look like when you're running this business? Obviously, you've got quite a big team now. So what do you all do and what does your day look like?
Well, it probably comes across that there's a big team, but there's actually just myself and Katie. And Katie does, um, she she does pretty much like all the admin side of things, and things like that. And I do more like the front of house. I do, sort of like a bit of the marketing. Do the social media. So yeah, I mean, I think when it's your own business, you just wear many hats, and
Yes.
and you just keep out there. So.
Yeah. So do you have a factory that has all the products or do you keep the products and post them out? How does it work?
We've got a distribution centre,
Oh, that's amazing.
well, a distributor, should I say? No, it's not our distribution centre, but a distributor. And that makes it sound like we're mega big.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've got a distributor, and they send out the products for the clinics. But then
Great.
what I do all the online
Do
orders
you?
myself. Yeah, so
My gosh.
yeah.
Wow.
In fact, if I turned my camera around right now, you would die, because the office is full of products.
Oh, I'm sure it's not as bad as mine, hence my background. My office is a right mess, so I think yours will look lots better with boxes everywhere. But that's good. So you have to physically do that. That's a lot of work.
Yeah, and May is melanoma month, and so
Yes.
an influx of orders. Um,
Yeah.
we do lots of big social media marketing and things, and so literally on Sunday, I spent my Sunday packing, parcels up and we sell all over. We sell a lot in Ireland, and even in
Really?
America. In America, we sell a lot over there. We've got a few in Australia and New Zealand, which would be amazing for us to get the product over there. But
Yeah.
ideally, it would be great for somebody who's already out there to
Yes.
manufacture our product over there, and do take the distribution rights over there, and do
Yeah. That would
uh,
be amazing.
yeah, yeah.
So, what do you think are the long-term goals for Tancombe? Obviously, you're building a business, and are you just going to keep it going for now? Have you got plans to expand with more lip care and other things?
We'd love to expand. We've got loads
Yeah.
of ideas for lots of new products, different products to add to their line. Well, obviously the only one SKU that we've got, but we've got loads of ideas. But it's the expense. It's
Yes.
massive expense. It's not easy, and also there are so many. I often think to myself, why on earth did I launch an SPF product? Because it's the worst one. Every
Yeah.
you go to, the rules and regulations are so different. The say like America, they are so far behind us in skincare.
Wow.
It's unbelievable, and you'd think that they would be
They'd
more
be,
advanced.
yeah. I would have
So
thought they'd be well ahead of us.
yeah, so no, so we want to obviously expand globally,
Yeah.
but it's a costly,
Yeah.
process to do
Experience.
that.
Yes. So beyond your work with tan cream, do you do other things to do with skin and melanoma? And I know you do lots of lovely fundraising things. Do you want to tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, well, I support lots and lots of skin cancer charities, and a friend of mine, actually, I set up a charity with her, and the charity she lost her son aged 19 to cancer,
Oh my gosh.
not skin cancer, but another cancer. But there's obviously, and I think we're all aware that there's so many life-threatening illnesses out there.
Yeah.
Not cancer, there's MND, there's brain tumors, there's
Yeah.
in the younger generation. So we've set up a charity that will support lots of other charities, and we're hoping to raise funds to open a retreat. And the retreat
Amazing.
will be for children and young adults with life-limiting illnesses that they
Wow.
can go to, and that they can get some respite and some quality family time,
Oh,
as
wow.
well as like post-death, is that counselling, bereavement counselling.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah,
So
and
what's the charity called?
it's Jordan's Retreat.
Jordan's Retreat. And
Jordan, name of
they
the
can
boy.
find, oh, that's so sad. And
Yeah.
can they find information on the on a website on
Yeah,
that?
yeah, we're online. It's jordansretreat.co.uk.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
so
amazing. So have you got any events for that coming up?
yeah, we've got one with Debbie McGee and Tony McHale tomorrow
Wow.
night. So they're coming to Grantley Hall. Debbie McGee is a massive ambassador, and so is Tony McHale. So Tony McHale is actually the writer and founder of Holby City, and he
Wow.
also wrote for EastEnders, and he's an author and publisher. He's a really lovely guy. And yeah, so we've got that event. We've got a fashion show in June at Grantley Hall. We've got events coming up in London, and Debbie McGee's organising a golf day where
Wow.
she, yeah, we've got all over really. We're trying to get a network of people that'll host like lots of events, and it's also really good because we can along the way, if they're outside events, we're telling them obviously SPF
Yes.
is so important. So it's all
Yeah.
linked, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it sounds amazing. I don't know how you have time to do all this.
I don't.
Yeah, you do. I think it's amazing. I really do. So, like, reflecting then on your battle with skin cancer and then the success of this company, obviously the whole brand is amazing and you must be so pleased with what you've achieved so far.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah. No, I'm definitely massive. It is. But I think there's always, when you get to it, you always want to, succeed more. And when you're in business, you just want to keep going with it, don't you? You want to,
Yes.
So yeah. There's no
I
door will close. We
Have
need
you
to
had lots of setbacks at all? I
keep going.
mean, it sounds like it took 3 years to make it. Over those 3 years, I would have given up within the first year, but I think it's amazing that you kept going.
It is, and I mean, anybody in business will tell you there's always the ups and downs, and I always think that life anyway is like a game of snakes and ladders. You know,
Yes.
you go up some ladders, but you come down snakes, some longer than the others, and the
Yeah.
ladders you go up, and but we all come in one place and we all go out in the same place. So
Yes.
I think that you can't give up if you're really passionate about something, and you do get low days, dip days, but when you could, there's been lots of times when we've just thought, gosh, this is just, it's crucifying, because you know, financially as well
Yeah,
as mentally and physically, it's very challenging.
it is. It's amazing. So, have you been given the all clear from your skin cancer at the moment, or are you constantly checking? You're always aware?
I'm always checking, always. I've
Yes.
got my own dermatoscope, so
Wow.
and in fact, actually, my friend who I've just set the charity up with,
Yeah.
she was round at our house one day for lunch, and she had a short sleeves top on, and I noticed this thing on her arm, and I said, "Oh, what's this?" Asked her a little bit of
Gosh.
history about it, and I was doing your husband there, like,
Yeah.
and she said, "Oh, it's just appeared," and when I went
Wow.
dermatoscope out, and I said, "Oh, you need to go and get that checked."
Well
So she
done.
hers was an in situ melanoma.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. That's amazing that you found that.
I
They're all
know.
going to be coming to you at lunch now
I'm
and
not a
dinner.
doctor, but
Yeah, you can help send them in the right direction. That's really good. Wow. I
well, I
mean,
think over the years, I think because of my story, and I think it's made me kind of so aware of other people, and like
yes.
looking at different things in their skin, and
Yeah.
I freak people out sometimes because I'm like
Yeah.
thinking, "Oh,
Massively so. I remember when my husband, an old man was driving and he bumped into the back of him. And so my husband got out to go and check and have a look. And he got out and the man was a little bit shaken and he said, "Oh, I'm really sorry." And nothing had happened, but I think he was just a bit shaken. My husband turned around to him and said, "Don't worry about the car, but you need to go and get that checked out on your face." And I think the man was like, "What are you talking about?" He said, it's a skin cancer. You need to go and get that sorted out." And so off he went. Hopefully he did go, the man, but he will spot things on people all the time and go and sort of say, I think you should get this checked. So I think it's really good that you both are aware and looking.
Yeah, no, and I think you do. I know my son has, just before we came on this call, came into the office, and he didn't have a shirt on, because his office is at the other side of my office, and I don't know why he sits without, Anyway, he literally, well, he walked in and he had this mole on his stomach, and I said, "Oh, I've not seen that before." And so again, get the dermoscope.
Well done.
I'm thinking, I think a little visit to your husband might be in order.
Just in case, yeah. Well, I think, and a lot of my friends in London, they go for regular mole checks. It's just a thing like going to the hairdressers. They do that. So it's become, people are becoming more and more aware of it, but it's very slow, isn't it? Still, people don't understand how dangerous sunbeds, the sun can be. And when you're away and you see all these people going bright red that are burnt, my husband's like, I can't look at them. It's awful. They're just still unaware, and I don't understand how we're still at that stage where we need to make people more aware of the sun.
It's so true. People are and even though, skin cancer is so rife now.
Yes.
And it's the biggest organ on our body.
Yeah.
And we can do something about it. We can protect it.
Yes.
Cream on.
Yeah.
And I know I always say to people, wear an SPF, it'll protect you from skin cancer. And they look like, oh, I'll just get it cut off. It's not as simple as
no. And it's really not. No. And I think
I was going to say, if there was a cream that would prevent you from getting breast cancer or
yes,
bowel cancer, you'd apply it, wouldn't you?
Yes, exactly.
Why,
you would.
Why don't they just listen and
yeah,
put,
no. Yeah, I agree. Well, hopefully we have raised awareness here and people have really found inspiration from this talk, and they will hopefully go and use their SPF and try out your tan cream. So can you tell us the website? It's I think it's just www.tancream, isn't it?
Tancream.co.uk, yeah.
And that's where they can find you. And you're in Instagram too?
Yeah, it's Tancream World, at Tancream World.
And do you do TikTok?
No,
not that you've got any time. You don't do TikTok?
No, we need to do TikTok.
Do you do Facebook?
We do, yes, and it's Tancream World again.
Yeah, because I think Facebook is a completely different audience from Instagram.
It is,
so, yeah, I think that's great. Okay, well, hopefully people can go and find you there. I'll put the links to them below this chat so people can go and search it. But thank you so much, Gillian, for giving up your time. That was amazing and really inspirational and great to hear your story. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me on, Caroline. I really appreciate it. It's really lovely.
It's been really good to talk to you. I feel like we've met, but we obviously haven't.
I know, it's weird, isn't it?
I know.
When I went to see your husband that day, I could have sat and chatted to him for ages. We chatted about all sorts. And I said to him, do you not have any other, clients coming in? No, he went there.
Yeah. He does get carried away. He does like chatting. And then it's really funny when we go out to social situations. I think he's chatted out and he sort of stands there and lets me do the chatting. And I'm like, but wait a minute. Now I get it. He's obviously talking at work, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's true.
Very good. Thank you so much. I will speak to you soon, and thank you for giving up your time to do this.
No, thank you. Lovely to chat with you. Take care.